Located on the shores of Lake Michigan, Chicago is often called the Windy City. Chicago enjoys a worldwide reputation as a center for architecture and the arts. Architects such as Louis Sullivan and Frank Lloyd Wright, as well as artists such as Picasso and Chagall, have all made their own unique mark on the city. This is seen in the fact that the Art Institute of Chicago boasts one of the most comprehensive collections of paintings in America, particularly from the Impressionist and Post-Impressionist periods. Chicago's stunning skyscrapers, built in the late 19th and 20th centuries, are recognizable throughout the world. The city is known for its 25-kilometer lakefront promenade, legendary jazz festivals and music events, sports arenas, world-class museums, and many other attractions. So how can you fully appreciate Chicago and get the most out of your stay if you only have 2 days? Well, we recommend climbing to the highest observation deck in the United States, which offers views of several American states at once, taking a fascinating architectural cruise along the river, strolling along first-class embankments and parks, and seeing the main iconic sights of Chicago. All this can be done by taking a water taxi, and in Chicago this is very convenient. All the main attractions are within walking distance from the boat stops that ply along the Michigan coastline and the branches of the Chicago River. Using a water taxi pass, you can visit Chicago museums, the aquarium, a high-rise observation deck, and other sites. Of course, the legendary Chicago Skydeck is worth a visit. It is located on the 103rd floor of the Willis Tower. Many locals call it the Sears Tower, and it was the world's tallest building for nearly 25 years. Now, the Willis Tower is the second tallest building in the United States. The observation deck is located at an altitude of 412.4 meters and is the highest in the country. In clear weather, you can see a breathtaking panorama of Lake Michigan for tens of kilometers, as well as the plains of Illinois, Indiana, Michigan, and Wisconsin. Another must-see is an architectural cruise on the Chicago River. There are several companies operating in the city, all of them are around the same. However, we personally used Wendella and would recommend it. The duration of these cruises are typically between 75 to 90 minutes. You will see dozens of unique skyscrapers, landmarks, and hidden gems of the city, as well as hear the interesting stories behind them. An additional must-see is Millennium Park in the heart of downtown Chicago, with its stunning architecture, sculptures, and landscaping. This 21st century project cost nearly $500 million. Cloudgate is the main attraction of the park and is the most recognizable and photographed sculpture in the city, weighing 110 tons. Although it's affectionately called the Bean due to its shape, it is believed that its image was inspired by the appearance of a drop of mercury. Made of stainless steel, the sculpture's perfectly polished surface reflects its surroundings, including the buildings, sky, and tourists passing through its central arch. Another of Millennium Park's many unique attractions is the interactive video sculpture Crown Fountain. There's also the curved stainless steel bridge and J. Pritzker Pavilion, designed by the brilliant architect Frank Gehry. Just next door to Millennium Park is the Chicago Cultural Center, one of Chicago's biggest attractions. The building, opened in 1897, was used by the mayor of Chicago for the official receptions of presidents, royalty, diplomats, and other public figures. The center is now one of the most frequently visited venues in the city, with numerous free events featuring live music, dance, theater performances, film screenings, exhibitions, and lectures. The Preston Bradley Auditorium, located on the south side of the building, offers live music performances and the world's largest Tiffany stained glass dome, measuring a radius of 38 feet. The water taxi will take you directly to the museum campus for great views of the Chicago downtown. The park is located on the shores of Lake Michigan and is home to 3 famous city museums: Shedd Aquarium, the world's first and at one time largest land-based aquarium with a permanent collection of saltwater fish; the Field Museum of Natural History, one of the largest museums of its kind in the world; and the Adler Planetarium, which is the first planetarium in the Western Hemisphere. In the park, you will see many sculptures by world-famous sculptors, including Henry Moore. The Soldier Field football stadium is also located here. From here, in good weather, it's a pleasant walk along the embankment for about an hour to Navy Pier, an area of restaurants, cafes, nightclubs, museums, and specialty shops. If you don't want to walk, you can of course use a water taxi. From the pier, you can take a water taxi to Buckingham Fountain, which is considered the entrance gate of the city and is one of the largest fountains in the world. Made of Georgia pink marble in the Rococo style, the fountain symbolizes Lake Michigan, and the 4 groups of horses represent the states surrounding the lake: Illinois, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Indiana. The fountain has 134 jets. The height of the central vertical jet reaches 150 feet. At dusk, the fountain hosts spectacular light shows. Perhaps the most famous public artwork in Chicago is the Picasso, an untitled monumental sculpture by Pablo Picasso in Dealey Plaza. The steel sculpture was unveiled in 1967. It has a height of 50 feet and a weight of 147 tons. This Cubist sculpture was the first major piece of public art in downtown Chicago and has become a famous landmark. The most famous mosaic in Chicago has got to be the Four Seasons by Marc Chagall. It is located near the 60-story Chase Tower skyscraper. The mosaic consists of thousands of inlaid tiles in more than 250 colors, depicting 6 scenes from Chicago life in a colorful and vibrant display. The design for this mosaic was created in Chagall's studio in France, transferred to full-size panels, and installed in Chicago with the help of an experienced local craftsman. There were unfortunately renovations, and so we were unable to get footage. And of course, no exploration of Chicago would be complete without a walk along the famous Magnificent Mile, a stretch of Michigan Avenue in the city center. This is Chicago's largest shopping district, home to high-end shops, restaurants, museums, and hotels. Commercial rents on the Magnificent Mile are some of the most expensive in the United States. The area is home to many famous skyscrapers, such as 875 North Michigan Avenue, formerly the John Hancock Center. Landmarks along the Magnificent Mile include the Wrigley Building, Tribune Tower, Chicago Water Tower, and the Allerton, Drake, and International hotels. A modern but worthwhile addition to your itinerary is the Starbucks Reserve Roastery, opened in 2019. This is the world's largest Starbucks, at 4 stories tall, and a real coffee kingdom. If you ever find yourself in Chicago, keep this video in mind and have a good trip.